So in this lesson I wanted to talk to you quickly about hair and eyes and teeth and how to create and map those. In a previous lesson we actually learned how to quickly model the eyes, but we're going to look at the hair now. And in this on this character you can see that just by layering strips of hair, strips of polygons, we can actually get a pretty decent look for the hair on the top of the head. It's I usually start by allowing for a hairline to be integrated with the facial map, and that's also right around the head and into the back of the head as well, so you get a nice hairline, especially for males. It tends to soften the look a little bit better. And then you can model these strips of hair simply by giving yourself spline. There are actually a couple different ways, but I'll show you this technique first. If you get in here and give yourself a line, then as we did before, you can bend that, form that in any way you choose. The nice thing about working with lines is that you are able to work with them, place the vertices forward here, forward. Place the vertices where you would like them, and you can create a Bezier handle so that you can rotate those lines and position those and create the curve in the hair that you would like to have, both long and short. Just create a long one so you can see better. So rotate, for rotating that around and give it a nice flippy-do here. Alright, so and in order to model that as hair, right under the rendering rollout, you can enable and render, also enable in the viewport so you can see it. Generate mapping coordinates, yes. Right down here you can work radial or rectangular, and you have a number of different attributes that you can modify. If I go to the side, you can see how that's a flat piece of hair. You can adjust the width, various widths. You can angle that in different ways. Once you have something that you like, you can drop other modifiers on that, such as twist modifier. You can get in here and twist the hair around. The only thing I would suggest in using these modifiers, bias you can play with, you can apply that in the different views. When you're playing with this, actually do it when it's attached to the head, so you can see how it is going to respond to the rest of the mesh. Alright, so, and that's all this is layers and layers, the different widths, thicknesses, and taper the edges on down. You can do that with taper modifier, or you can simply come in here, grab the verts, modify that to editable poly, come in here, grab the verts, and I can use soft select on that, And you can just scale that down. Choose, modify the fall off for a different effect. So I think you get the idea. And then once you have that, you've already created it with the UV coordinates on that. So what you can do is then put the unwrap modifier on that, go to edit, take a look at your hair. Should come in here and drop the hair texture on that by selecting it. Clicking this icon, assign material to selection, show it in viewport, and as you can see, the texture is now on that. Now you can get in there and take a look at how that's mapping. Picking the texture. Hair, brown, bring that in there. And then you can take a look at that. Now, this strand of hair has way too many polygons in it, so as you're creating, you want to make sure that you're keeping that in mind. Also, you can see how my hair here is flickering in and out because it's not two-sided polygons. You do not need two-sided polygons. One-sided is fine since you've painted the base of your head. It's not going to really show through that much. And so have fun with the hair. I did want to show you a couple of other tools at your disposal. If you are still modeling with geometric shapes, the standard primitives, that's fine, but I do want you to be aware that you have a whole menagerie of different tools that you can also use right here in splines. I like to model with splines because they are easier usually to manipulate for things like hair. So for instance, the helix, you can come down here and drop a helix in. I don't know if you can see that very well. So when you are using these tools, you're actually creating models that can be converted into editable poly and used along with your mesh. You just need to make sure that the objects that you're creating are sensitive to the poly count. You just have to watch the poly count as you're creating them. So you have a whole slew of different parameters that you can play with: the radius, height. Let's put this away so you can see the height associated with that. Turns. You can get so many different looks from this. And the reason I wanted to show you this one is because it's a great way to make long curly hair using this helix. So once you have that prepared, you can change that to editable poly and be able to manipulate that just like you would your other mesh. So that in mind, I want you to go ahead and try to see what's in here for your modeling pleasure. You've got arcs, you have so many different things. Many of them take 2 or 3 clicks to actually get the object down, but the more you play with these, the more you'll realize how really powerful they are to speed your workflow. Oh, have fun with those.